Hello again, everyone, and welcome. Why am I introducing this differently? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Waypoint. Today we're playing Forza Horizon 4 again, and a few things before I start talking about today's topics. Yes, that's a really shit livery. It's the first livery, and I think the only livery I've ever made. I was just kind of testing it out, and I put it on that Lamborghini, and then I forgot to take it off. Now it's what I'm racing around with in multiplayer, and that's the other thing as well. This week it's multiplayer, last week it wasn't. I haven't cut the video down too much, there's going to be some wait times in between. It's probably not going to be the most exciting gameplay because of that, I'm sorry. But if I just cut the races like ass to ass, don't know why I said it that way either. If I cut the races together race to race, there'd be a lot less time to talk about what I want to talk about, and I feel like I want to talk about it quite a lot today. Shall we get into the video? So I don't know if I've got around to uploading this one slightly later than usual. If I have, it's because I was waiting for the Halo Infinite gameplay, campaign gameplay trailer reveal thingy preview doohickey to air. Wow, I'm really good at finding my words today, aren't I? And also I had some family stuff. Had my nieces come over, did some colouring, spent way too long on the colouring, really thoroughly coloured a motorbike. It's not important. In fact, you know what, I'm going to show it on the screen. Here's what I did. This is me, this is the motorbike I coloured. If you think it looks hideous and it doesn't make any sense, who cares? It's colouring. Colouring being surprisingly therapeutic. Now I understand why they do adult colouring books. I put that picture up on Twitter because, you know, what I just said, and then I was like, oh no, it looks like I'm really proud of my colouring, so I deleted the tweet, and now I'm like, oh no, now everyone's gonna know that I got really awkward about thinking that people think I'm proud about my colouring. That's how neurotic I can be. Anyway, sorry, what the fuck was I talking about? Alright, yeah, Halo. So the campaign gameplay overview, I think is what they're calling it, dropped. I don't like it when people say things drop, but anyway, it came out at 2 PM and I watched it live, and oh my god, it looks so good. It looks so good. Oh my god, it looks so good. As you may know, I've been playing through the Halo campaigns to try and catch up to Halo Infinite, because I feel like the story is going to be very important, being caught up on that shit. And I could just watch a YouTube video that kind of tells you what happened, but I think it'd be more fun to play through them, right? They're very iconic games. And last night I finished Halo 3 ODST, and ODST kind of stands out from the rest because it has this main hub area. It has the streets of Mombasa, or New Mombasa, and you've kind of got to work your way through them from one objective to the next. It's still fairly linear, but there's kind of an element of open world gameplay to it. There's secrets you can go and find, you can go the wrong way. If you want, you can just go to the other side of a map, even though there's nothing to do over there. Like, you can go and do that. It's, it's not like A to B level design, at least for in-between level sections. They still have those A to B linear levels that make up most of the game, but like I said, it's kind of all put together through this open world. And while playing through it, because I already knew that Halo Infinite is going to be semi-open world at the very least from what they've already shown us, I had that on my mind. I was thinking, this is fun, the fact that this is open world, the way that it ties the narrative together and stuff, but obviously it feels very, very bare bones. I wouldn't even call it semi-open world. It's like open world-esque. It's like got elements of open worldness to it, but as I'm playing through it, I'm thinking, I can really see how they could expand upon this, and I won't lie, obviously, I've played Destiny, which is kind of the evolution of the Halo formula, because that's what Bungie themselves went on to make after Halo Reach, and, they probably took lessons they learned in Halo 3 ODST there with them, so I'm probably going to be comparing the Halo Infinite campaign more to Destiny than I am to Halo 3 ODST, but all the same, it was on my mind, and they dropped this, they announced that they were dropping the campaign preview thing, maybe a couple of hours after I finished ODST, so it was very coincidental that happened. Obviously, I still need to play Halo 4 and Halo 5. Shut up, I'm playing Halo 5. I really don't care. I know it's not going to be good. Again, I'm easy to please. Feel like I need to throw this disclaimer out there every time. It's like when I said on Reddit I kind of want to watch all of the Terminator movies now that I've seen number 1, and so many people jumped on me and said, please don't, it will ruin the franchise for you. And I was like, it's fine, I can differentiate between different stories. I still haven't done that, by the way, but I should do. I'm not like a super critical person. I can think critically, but I have to put my brain in that mode. I don't like pick flaws out of things while I'm playing them, even if they're super obvious. Same with movies. Like I said last week, I enjoyed Rise of Skywalker when I watched it, and then at the end of it, obviously, I was like, that didn't really make much sense, but it was fun, you know? And I took away the fun part of it. I feel like it's going to be the same for Halo 5. But yeah, to get back to Halo Infinite, I'm really, really excited. I've been playing through these Halo campaigns, and I've been thinking to myself, you know, like, these are good campaigns, but they're short, right? They're like, what, at most, I think Halo 2 is the longest one I've played so far, at like 14 missions maybe, although some of those are cutscenes, so I can't quite remember how that all turns out. But it's like, these are fun, but if Halo Infinite is this short of an this short of an experience, I'm gonna be sad, because multiplayer Halo is super fun, but having played Destiny, you know, I want to have some sort of PvE, which is more than just like a, you know, 10-hour run through or whatever. And I get that people get more than that out of Halo campaigns by replaying them on harder difficulties and with extra challenges like skulls and stuff like that, but I'm really not that kind of person who finds additional enjoyment from linear games by playing them on higher difficulties. So yeah, I've been hoping for something a bit more wide open, a bit more like Destiny, frankly, not in terms of guns and like online services and stuff like that, but in terms of just world and missions and stuff like that. So again, we don't know how long this campaign is going to be. It could just be a different model but still similar in length, although I think that probably wouldn't feel very good if it was like that scope but only 10 hours long. I think that would be very weird. But from what we've seen, I'm super excited. I hope we see more environments, and I think we probably will, given that there's a desert map on the beta, or there was a desert map on the beta, or the Insider Flight, or whatever they want to call it. But that could also mean nothing. I think there's also a map on Earth, and I don't know if we're going to be going to Earth, you know. But I think if they did it the way Dragon Age Inquisition or The Outer Worlds handles their open areas, where it's like, it is like a fairly decently sized open area, but it's also one of many different instanced open areas, I think that would work really well for Halo Infinite. I think that's what people mean generally when they say semi-open world, and I think that would be a really good fit for Halo. And I know people are tired of the Ubisoft style gameplay of go to this location, take down this tower, you know, clear this objective off the map, but I unashamedly fucking love those games, and while I admit that the Ubisoft particular brand of that is very much copy-paste, this is the first time we're going to see 343 Industries do something like that for Halo, and I'm very excited for it, because I think Halo has more innately exciting gameplay than something like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed. Like, not hugely, I'm not saying those are bad games, obviously I love Assassin's Creed, but like, just when it comes to, you know, giving you stuff to do within the Halo sandbox, I think Infinite is gonna do very well, or I hope Infinite's gonna do very well by adding that kind of open world objective style gameplay, as long as that's not all there is to do, which I doubt there would be anything. Like, I'm sure there's still going to be mission style missions, like areas you go into and stuff that's going to feel like missions. I just think it's all going to be tied together more into the open world. We got a brief look at an upgrade window for the Chief and his like grappling hook and his like mobility stuff, and I think that's going to be really fun to mess around with too. I think it might be a bit jarring to go from a fully upgraded Master Chief to like multiplayer gameplay where those things are like items you have to pick up in the world and they only have a certain amount of uses, but maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking too much into that. Either way, I will say I am way more excited for Halo Infinite now. I was already excited, but like I said, I'd played the multiplayer, I'd gone, yeah, this is definitely another Halo game, but I'm already drowning in what's new Halo content to me because I haven't played it before, you know. I've already spent months playing Halo multiplayer as well, you know. It's fun, but I've already got Halo to play. But now seeing that campaign overview, I'm like, oh, this is like Halo like none of us have ever played before, and I'm super excited for it. And I'm super excited to really knuckle down and beat Halo 4 and 5 as well, because again, they're short campaigns, like I've said. I know Halo 5 has been criticised for being too short, so maybe it won't even take me that long. But, you know, I've got 2 months, and, well, actually, looking down at the calendar there, I've got about a month and a half, but I think I'll get it done, as long as I make sure not to let myself get distracted. That's actually something I want to be doing now. I want to be making sure that I have a quote-unquote beatable game in my game rotation, so that I'm not just playing RuneScape, and Forza and other MMOs and stuff, which have like, objective based gameplay where, I'm aiming for a certain level in RuneScape and I can do quests and stuff and tick off things, but I'm not necessarily beating a style of game and then going on to play a new game. So I'm always playing, I always have like 2 to 3 games in my rotation, most people do, but I want to make sure that I always have like a game like like a Halo campaign, or I want to play through Control, stuff like that. I want to make sure that maybe specifically Game Pass games too, that I'm going through them and playing them, or maybe some older PS2 games, because I'm going to very subtly transition now into my next topic, which is, hi, there might be some PS2 content on the channel soon. How fucking exciting is that? I'm so excited about this prospect. This morning I woke up and for whatever reason got to thinking about how hard could it really be to get an adapter to play. I mean, first of all, I think I was thinking about how to get an adapter to make sure that I'm able to play my PS2 games on my PC monitor. This actually probably all came about from yesterday. I was watching a review of what Need for Speed Underground 2 is like in 2021. It was a review by a user called Hoki Hoshi, and it's a really good review. I recommend checking it out. He was reviewing the PC version, which you can mod out and make look better and stuff, but it got me to thinking about PS2 games again and how much I miss playing them. And then I thought, wait a second, if I can play PS2 games on my PC monitor, on my modern ass monitor by getting a RGB to a HDMI, or sorry, AVI to HDMI converter or whatever, and it's as simple as that, then can't I just use that HDMI cable to plug into my Elgato to then run through to my monitor and record PS1 and PS2 games from my PS2? And I looked it up because I thought surely it can't be that easy, and I found a few tutorials, and it does look that easy. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the software side of things, like because I use the Elgato supplied 4K capture utility, and I don't know if I'm going to have to tweak some settings to make sure that the video comes through properly, and then make sure that I'm tweaking those settings back whenever I go back to my Xbox or my Switch or something. But it's only like £10 for one of those adapters, so I've ordered one. I've got like a 3-year warranty on it because I've heard that some are notorious for like failing, but this one specifically says it works with PS2s, and this one had the most amount of purchases and the least amount of bad reviews for exploding and stuff like that. So yeah, I researched whether that one in particular could work with an Elgato, and it looks like it can, and it should be here tomorrow, and I don't know how much time I'm going to have to tinker with it tomorrow because that is the start of my work week, but I'm so excited at the possibility of playing PS2 games. And that's the other thing as well, I need to actually acquire a PS2, but my dad's going to lend me one. Yeah, I really hope I'm able to record PS2 games and, subsequently PS1 games as well. I would make a whole series based on like my childhood games or whatever. I still don't know if I would do it in like a full-on Let's Play style like I was trying with Super Mario a few months ago. Or if I would just play through them and make the type of content I'm already making in those games or whatever. I kind of want to make a series called Retro Mode or something. I'm sure that name's already been taken, I'll need to Google it, but I want to show you guys Ratchet & Clank and Jak and Daxter, but more importantly the games that nobody talks about, like RC Revenge and Motor Mayhem and Road Trip Adventure. Oh, I can't wait if it works, which I'm like 80% sure it will, otherwise I've just thrown a tenner away, but there's worse things to throw a tenner away on. I have so many plans for if this works. You just keep an eye on this channel and see what happens, and if no retro content comes out in the next few weeks, just assume that I'm very upset that it didn't work, but I see no reason why it wouldn't. It's one of those things where it's like, I got this Elgato and I was so kind of like excited about being able to record modern games, but I never gave a thought as to how easy it would be to just add an extra thing to it to record retro games, because I see people make retro gaming content, and if I'm seeing people make gaming content, they must do it with some kind of capture card device, right? Well, that's what I've got. If I'm seeing people make retro content, then obviously I'm still able to like figure out how they're doing it and be able to do that myself too. Why stop at modern games? I'm not sure if that made sense, but that's how my mind basically came to that conclusion of I should try this out. Originally I was going to try and buy a HDMI splitter cable and use it for what it's not intended for, which is to be able to record PS3, because for those of you who don't know, PS3 has something called HDCP, which means it won't output to a capture card, because Sony were very protective of their shit back in the day, which was annoying. But if you use a HDMI splitter or a certain brand of HDMI splitter, you're able to bypass that and make Elgato videos with it. Originally I was going to do that. That would have also been about a £10 investment, but the main reason I wanted to be able to record my PS3 was so that I could record the HD remakes, or the HD remasters I should say, of some of my favourite PS2 games. But sure, if I just skip that step and go straight to making the PS2 a recordable console, then I don't need to bother with the PS3, at least not, until I want to specifically record a PS3 game, right? Basically what I'm saying is my room is about to look like, even worse, look like a just jumble of boxes and cables of, oh please don't touch that or everything will explode. So yeah, thank you for watching this episode of A Weekly Waypoint. As you can see, I carried my team to victory a little bit in the end there. I'm still not very good at racing fast cars in this game. Again, I haven't been playing it a huge amount in the last few months, so I've grown a little bit rusty, and I've never been that good at racing S1s and S2s, but that's the way it is. But I unlocked what looks like the fucking Batmobile. I don't know if this is, I mean, it is a real car, I'm sure, because it's got like a real sounding name and it says it came out in 2019 or whatever. It seems to be an electric car, but yeah, it's pretty cool.